everyone, and welcome to Holistic Life with Kristen, and Happy New Year. This is my first video of 2026, and I'm kicking it off with a one-pan chicken dinner. This is the first time I'm actually making this. I'm kind of making it up as I go, but I do know it's going to be very good. I have made dishes that were similar to this, and they have turned out really delicious in the past, so I'm just going to kind of throw some things together. And if you don't have the exact same spices that I have, feel free to use your spice cabinet to choose whichever spices you like really well on chicken. I recommend using paprika though, because I like this dish to have a nice red color to it. So you can get that by using paprika on the chicken, and paprika is so good on chicken. So I would not recommend skipping out on the paprika. But by all means, you can make this your own. You can use your own spices to season your chicken. So today has been a super busy day. My husband and I meant to go to meet with one customer in the morning, and that meeting turned into an entire day of meetings because we got some more phone calls while we were on the way to meet that customer. And then we also had some other, prices that we had to go get. We had to go by Home Depot, and we, it's just been, the whole day has been run. So I got home tonight and we need to get some food. So when I got home tonight, I just need to get something cooked because we are both very hungry. And as you can see, I'm kind of sweating a little bit. Just been running around all day. So what better to make when you are in a hurry than a one-pan chicken dinner? So I'm going to do some rice and some chicken all in one casserole dish. And if you want to add a little more veggies to this, which I may add a little bit of veggies to mine. I don't like to do broccoli down in the casserole. So I am going to cook a little bit of broccoli. I'm just going to steam it, just a quick steam on the stove. Some broccoli to serve along with my casserole, but you don't have to do that, or you can add some carrots into it or whatever else you might like. But I'm really taking the expedited version tonight. I'm just doing simple chicken and rice, and then I'm going to steam some broccoli on the side. Okay guys, so to cut down the cook time on the rice just a little bit, I have my electric tea kettle right here. What I want to do here is to boil the water, and I don't really want to add it necessarily boiling, but I do want to add it hot. So while I do all the other prep, I am working on prepping my chicken. I need to pat it dry, and I need to add some spices to it. So while I'm doing that, I'm going to let my water come up to a boil, and then once my chicken is prepped, then I'll be able to add the water to my rice. So here I have a medium-sized package of boneless, skinless chicken thighs. So I'm just going to go ahead and season those up. I'm definitely going to be adding some paprika. And then I just decided to add this salt-free Mrs. Dash original seasoning, as well as Kinder's cowboy butter. You can feel free to substitute these out if you don't have them or prefer something different. I'm also going to be using this jar of garlic. All of these seasonings can be added to taste, and you can also choose whatever seasonings you like. I always like to use a little bit of paprika over the chicken because I like the red color. I like the aesthetic of the red color that it gives the chicken and rice. I also like the flavor, but by all means, you can alter this however you see fit. Then I added in my Mrs. Dash original seasoning, salt-free, and then this one is the Kinder's cowboy butter. It does have salt, so I'm going to limit the amount that I use because personally I'm watching my salt. And then I'm just going to add in a little bit of the jarred garlic. That's probably about a teaspoon worth, and then I'm going to give that a good mix. Just using my hands, but if you have issues with that, you can always use some gloves or like something else, but my hands are clean, and so I usually just mix this with my hands and just get all those spices evenly coated. You just want to make sure all the chicken has a nice even coating of spices. Once you get your chicken evenly coated, it should have a nice color to it, just like this. Okay guys, so as you can see, my water is now sitting at about 200 degrees, which is just below a boil. I'm just going to let it sit there while I go ahead and sear my chicken. Searing the chicken isn't required. You can go ahead, if you are tight on time, you can just add it to your pan along with your rice, and you can go ahead and stick it in the oven, and it can cook completely in the oven. It's just that I'm doing this because I prefer to have that extra flavor, and I like that color that it gives the chicken. So I'm going to go ahead and sear mine. Just make sure not to overcrowd your pan. Because of the amount of chicken that I have, I'm going to go ahead and do this in 2 batches. I wanted to explain what I did here. So this is just a casserole dish, and I have added to that 1.5 cups of rice. And I just did, you can see the drizzle. I've just done a little bit of a drizzle of olive oil over the top. You don't need too much, just a little bit. And then I added about a 1/2 teaspoon of chicken bouillon, probably about 1/8 of a teaspoon of cayenne because I wanted it to be spicy. If you don't want it to be spicy, you can leave that out, or you can cut it back, or if you want it more spicy, you can add more. I've decided to add about a 1/2 of a diced onion to the rice. I'm going to add 2 cups of hot water that I boiled in my kettle. It's no longer boiling, but it is hot, so I'm going to add that to the casserole. There's a 1.5 cups of rice, and then my onion and seasonings and olive oil, as well as the 2 cups of water. And then I'm just going to use a spoon to mix this around, and I'm going to make sure that the rice is across the bottom of the pan in an even layer. And then once my chicken has nice color on one side, I'm going to go ahead and add the chicken into my casserole dish. So next I'm going to go ahead and put together a quick and easy sauce. It's going to be made out of ketchup and soy sauce and some of this jarred garlic. So I'm going to add, this is just kind of a guesstimate, but maybe a couple tablespoons of ketchup and then about a teaspoon of garlic. All of this can be to taste. And then I'm just going to add some soy sauce. It might be about a tablespoon or so. Add everything to taste. And then I'm going to add a little bit of this hot honey just to help it to caramelize in the oven. And it also is going to give it a spicy, sweet flavor. Once I've mixed this sauce up, then I'm going to go ahead and just finish up. My chicken is done here. It's not all the way cooked through, it's just seared. So I'm going to add the rest of this chicken into my casserole dish, and this is going to continue to cook in the oven. So once my rice and my seared chicken are in the casserole dish, then I'm just going to use some of that sauce that I made. I'm not going to touch the chicken because it's not cooked all the way through. So I'm just going to try to kind of dab some of this over the chicken, and I'm going to reserve some of it for at the very end. I'm just going to put a little bit of a fresh coat at the very end when I pull this out of the oven. So right now I'm just going to dab this on, and then I'm going to use my basting brush to rub this sauce over the top of the chicken. My chicken is lightly coated in this sauce, and then I've just got a little bit reserved that we're gonna put on at the very end, just for a little bit of extra moisture and some nice caramelization over the top. And then I'm gonna go ahead and cover this with foil and bake in a 375-degree oven for about 45 minutes. After cooking for 45 minutes covered in the oven, I pulled it out and it looks like this. Our rice is basically cooked as well as our chicken. And I'm just going to go ahead and add that extra sauce that I reserved at the beginning when I stuck it in the oven. And I'm just going to go ahead and use the rest of the sauce to put a little coating over the chicken. Okay guys, so I have added the rest of that sauce to the chicken. I'm going to pop this in the oven for just another 15 minutes to brown up the top. All right folks, so this just came out of the oven and we are ready to eat. The top of the chicken is nicely caramelized with that sauce, and our rice has a nice color to it and is cooked just right. Okay guys, so now for the taste test. It's really good. This was so easy and everything is cooked very nicely. Such an easy dish and very delicious. If you're in a hurry and you need something simple, this is it. You should try it. And guess what, guys? I'm too hungry and time is too short, so this is perfectly fine. I'm not even going to make any broccoli to go with it tonight. I'm just going to have the simple chicken and rice tonight. But remember, if you want some veggies, you can always serve some steamed veggies on the side or add some veggies to the casserole. Okay, guys, so I'm going to get off of here and go enjoy my dinner. I am so hungry and I need to get my dinner before it gets too late. All right, guys. Happy New Year. I hope you enjoy this dish. Bye.